Hey, Exotical darlings, this is Coco Exotical. Thank you for being here with me. Today, we're going to talk about how beautiful women live life on easy mode and why the haters are mad about it. So let's get into it. The truth is that being beautiful opens doors. It gets you better service, more opportunities, preferential treatment, and the people who deny this are either lying or they've never really experienced it for themselves. But the messy part about it is that the same beauty that gets you free coffee also gets you sabotaged at work, called a 304 behind your back, and accused of not having to work hard or earn anything in life. If you're beautiful, the perks of having pretty privilege can be amazing. But if you've also been bullied, excluded, or sabotaged because of your looks, then you've experienced the dark side of pretty privilege as well. The truth is that being beautiful is both a superpower and a target on your back. People treat beautiful women like queens one minute and villains in the next, right? Beautiful women do have privileges, and I'm not just talking about some shallow surface level stuff. I'm talking about scientifically documented, psychologically proven, socially reinforced advantages that gorgeous people, especially gorgeous women, experience every single day. It's what's called the halo effect, and here's how it works. When you're physically attractive, people unconsciously assume that you're also more intelligent, more competent, more trustworthy, and more likable. Literally, just because you're easy on the eyes, strangers project positive qualities onto you that you haven't even demonstrated yet. You walk into a room, and people already think that you're more capable than the average person standing next to you. Studies show that attractive people earn more money over their lifetimes, get hired more often, receive lighter prison sentences, and are perceived as more persuasive in negotiations. Beautiful women specifically get more attention, better customer service, more help from strangers, faster responses to emails, and yes, free drinks, free meals, and extra favors. This isn't a theory, this is actual data. And maybe you didn't ask for this advantage, but you have it, right? So why in the world wouldn't you use it? If you don't leverage your own beauty, then somebody else is going to do it. Some brand is going to use a gorgeous face to sell their product. Some employer is going to hire the attractive candidate over the frumpy one. Some man is going to choose the beautiful woman who owns her beauty and knows her own worth over the beautiful woman who's trying to downplay her beauty to make other people feel comfortable. The game is being played whether you choose to participate or not, so you might as well play to win, right? For example, I know someone who would never really dress up for job interviews because she didn't want to overdo it or she didn't want to not seem serious enough. So she got passed over 3 different times at 3 different interviews. So for the fourth interview, she decided to do something different. She showed up in a business suit, hair done, nails done, full makeup, and she ended up getting the job and a higher salary than was advertised. Same resume, same skills, different packaging. That's the reality, right? Now, here's where it can get confusing. If being beautiful is such an advantage, then why do beautiful women also get bullied, sabotaged, excluded, and lied about? Why do the same people who bend over backwards to help you one day turn around and call you shallow and stuck up the next day? It's because beauty triggers different psychological responses in people, and most of them don't even realize that it's happening, right? When people treat you well because you're beautiful, it's often because of a few different things. First is the halo effect, and we talked about this before, right? When you're beautiful, people subconsciously can't help but see you as more valuable in other ways as well. The next thing is that it improves their social status by association. Simply being seen with a beautiful woman helping you or having access to you makes them feel more important. It's why men want to be seen with beautiful women, why companies want gorgeous spokespeople, why people want to be friends with a pretty girl. Their proximity to you elevates their own perceived status. Men will literally trip all over themselves to help you because on some level they're hoping for romantic or other kinds of access as well, right? Not all attention is because of this, but let's not pretend that some of it isn't either. But then there's the dark side of being beautiful, right? The same beauty that gets you the perks also gets you jealousy and envy from people who don't have it, so they resent you for having it. It also threatens people's self-imposed social hierarchies. So if you walk into a space where someone was seen as the pretty one, in their mind now you've just challenged their position, so they have to try to eliminate you because heaven forbid there's more than one beautiful woman in a certain space at one time, right? People also assume that you're going to be a threat. Other women assume that you're stuck up or that you're going to steal their man. Men see you as a challenge, or they assume that you're high maintenance or unattainable. People assume that you're vain or shallow or that you didn't have to work hard for anything that you have in life. People want to punish you just for existing. They'll try to sabotage you at work, exclude you from social gatherings, talk about you behind your back, or try to knock you down a peg so that they can feel better about themselves. So this is what's called social comparison theory. When people see someone who has an advantage that they feel like they themselves don't have, it triggers their insecurity. And instead of working on themselves, they try to tear you down to restore their own sense of self-worth. This is why a lot of times when gorgeous women get promoted at work, people want to say that she slept her way to the top. While most of the time she'll have multiple degrees, she'll have been working at the company for years, and her work is immaculate. Because she's beautiful, people don't want to accept that she's earned the promotion. They have to create a story where she used her body to get there because accepting that she's beautiful, intelligent, and competent is too threatening for them, right? And I'm not saying that sometimes a woman's beauty doesn't get her promoted, but when you're beautiful and intelligent, people love to discount the intelligence and make everything about your looks, right? So let's talk about intimidation, because this is where the psychology gets interesting. So let's talk about why men are intimidated by beautiful women. Because men will swear up and down that they're not intimidated by a beautiful woman, but their behavior tells a different story. A lot of them have a fear of rejection. The more attractive that you are, the higher the stakes are for them. If they approach you, they're risking public humiliation if you say no, so a lot of them won't even try, or they'll neg you or try to humble you to try to bring you down to a level where they feel like they're more in control, right? Now, if you're beautiful, smart, confident, and successful, you've just shattered his entire belief that as the man, he's supposed to be the more accomplished one. A lot of men are raised to believe that their value comes from being the provider, the leader, the competent one. So when you're intelligent and confident, maybe you own a successful business, plus you're gorgeous as well, he feels intimidated and now he doesn't know where he fits in, right? And even if he does end up with you, now he's terrified that someone better is going to come along. This is why some men try to control beautiful women, right? They try to isolate you and humble you and tear down your confidence. It's not about you. It's about his own fear that he's not enough and that you're going to realize this one day and leave him for someone better. This is why beautiful women need to stay away from weak, insecure men. They'll try to destroy you and bring you down to their level because they're surprised that you even gave them a chance in the first place, right? So now let's talk about why women are intimidated by beautiful women. Women's intimidation is a little bit different and it's more insidious as well. It's about competition on a primal level, right? In their subconscious mind, if you're more attractive, then you're a threat to their romantic prospects. Even if they're already in a relationship, there's an unconscious fear that their partner is going to compare them to you and find them lacking in different areas of beauty, right? Maybe you have longer, healthier hair. Maybe your skin is clearer. You have a slimmer body. You look more put together than they do. Now they have a fear that their partner might leave them for you, right? Even if something like that would never even happen. A lot of women also have internalized patriarchy and a scarcity mindset as well. A lot of women have been conditioned by the patriarchy to be in competition with each other and to believe that there's only room for one beautiful, successful, talented woman at the table, right? So instead of celebrating you in sisterhood, they see you as competition for limited resources, whether that's male attention, job opportunities, business opportunities, social validation, whatever. So they want to hate on you if they see you as having more of whatever it is that they want for themselves. They project their own insecurities onto you because your beauty reflects back everything that they're insecure about in themselves and their own lives. Instead of working on their own beauty and their own confidence, it's easier to decide that you are the problem, right? They want to exclude you from the girls' night and leave you out of the group chat because when you all go out together, you're getting all of the attention that they want. And most of the time, you don't even want the attention. But because you're the one who's getting what they want, then they get upset and they don't want to hang out with you anymore. And that's not your problem to fix. You can't shrink yourself down and dull yourself down or apologize for your genetics to make insecure people feel comfortable. Their insecurity is their own problem to fix, right? This is why you notice that really beautiful women don't usually have a lot of friends. And if they do, then you're going to notice that they all have the same level of beauty and that they're all usually pretty confident as well. Some really beautiful people can still be insecure and jealous and in competition with other women, even though they themselves are already beautiful. And that's because they have hierarchy thinking, so they're always in competition with somebody. You can't be around women like that. You have to be around women who are equally beautiful and equally as confident as well, so that you can just enjoy yourselves and have fun and relax and not have to worry about the petty BS, right? So let's talk about why pretty privilege makes some people so angry, like viscerally, irrationally having a meltdown in the comment section angry, right? So the first reason is the just world fallacy. So we've spoken about this before. People want to believe that the world is fair and just. They want to believe that success is purely about hard work, talent, and merit, right? Pretty privilege breaks that illusion. It forces people to confront the fact that some people do have extra advantages because of their looks, and that life isn't always a level playing field. This is why you hear people complaining, well, that's not fair. No, life isn't fair. And instead of accepting reality, they want to get mad at the people who benefit from it. They want you to reject the benefits that you receive from having pretty privilege. They want you to say, oh no, I'm not going to take this free coffee that you're offering me because you're only giving it to me because I'm pretty. Go give it a Big Bertha over there instead, right? Like they'd rather call you shallow or undeserving than admit that beauty is actually a form of social currency. The next reason that people get so angry about pretty privilege is because they have a scarcity mindset. They believe that if you have an advantage, then that means that there's less for them. Your beauty equals their inadequacy. Your opportunities equal their missed chances. This is especially true for people who've struggled and suffered to get to where they are. They resent that you might have had an easier path because they didn't get that same advantage, right? It's the same psychology behind the people who climb the ladder and then pull it out behind them. It's the I suffered, so you should have to suffer too mentality. They want you to struggle as much as they did, and when you don't, then they're furious, right? And honestly, the people who are the most upset about it are usually the ones who are mad at themselves for not having the same advantage or for not maximizing the advantages that they do have, right? Everybody has advantages that they can lean into. So maybe you're pretty, but you grew up in the hood and they grew up in the wealthy part of town. Maybe you're pretty, but you're overweight and they have a healthy, fit body. Maybe you're pretty, but you're bad with money and they know how to invest and maximize their finances. They have all those advantages that they can use for themselves, but they're just focused on the fact that you're pretty and you're using your pretty privilege to get advantages that they don't have from not being pretty themselves, right? People will complain about how beautiful people didn't work for anything, or how we just have good genetics, or how anyone could do what we do if they look like us. Okay, cool. So if looks are all that it takes, then why aren't you doing it? Learn how to do your makeup better. Invest in better skincare products. Get some beauty enhancements. Invest in better hair care products. Put down the fork, push back from the table, and get in the gym. Their anger isn't about you and your beauty. It's about their own feelings of inadequacy, right? At the end of the day, your beauty isn't something that you need to apologize for. It's a tool, it's a resource, an advantage, and you'd be dumb not to use it. The people who want to tell you to be humble or to not use your looks to your advantage are usually the same people who would do anything to have what you have and to look the way that you look. They want you to limit yourself so that they can feel better about their own limitations. Being beautiful and using your pretty privilege doesn't mean that you're shallow. It doesn't mean that you didn't work hard for anything. It doesn't mean that you're less intelligent or less deserving. It just means you have one extra advantage in a world full of unequal playing fields, right? And instead of pretending that the advantage doesn't exist to make others feel comfortable, you should leverage the hell out of it while also developing every other part of yourself as well. So stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop letting bitter, insecure people convince you that your beauty is something to feel guilty about it. You're gorgeous, and that pisses people off, and that's their problem, not yours. So tell me about it. Have you ever been sabotaged because of your looks? What advantages have you received in life because of your beauty? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.